What's the deal, family? Welcome back to the channel. Today we got another banger for y'all, man. So look, we got Compton gang member who bragged about Tupac Shakur shooting arrested in murder case. All right, dog. After 27 years, they finally arrested Keefe D for the Tupac murder. All right, dog. Look, me, I'm an LA baby, Los Angeles. If you know me, bro, my friends, people who know me, bro, y'all know, everybody knows Tupac is my favorite rapper of all time. By far my favorite rapper of all time. Like, when I was younger, dog, I used to be obsessed with the whole murder of Tupac and, like, his whole death. I was obsessed with all that. The conspiracies, whether it was he was still alive, up in Hawaii and Cabo, doing it up. The Don Illuminati 7-day theory stuff, the Machiavelli stuff, just whether it was Suge Knight who set him up because he was leaving death row, if it was P. Diddy and all them, like I was obsessed with the whole thing revolving Tupac's murder and his death, and all this is just interesting for me to like see, for it to finally come to like almost a full close or closure at least, and to me it's kind of crazy that it took this long for the police to arrest and indict Keefe D for his involvement, bro. He's been doing interviews. He wrote a book. This nigga damn near probably was part of the documentaries. He went on Vlad TV and basically completely snitched on himself on Vlad TV when he did the interviews with him. And it was like, how is this dude not arrested? Crazy to me. Either way, though, we gonna tap in with this video. There's a whole lot of information and videos and court stuff and all types of shit coming out about this situation. So if you guys want me to react to anything else, get at me in the comments, hit that like button, subscribe. Let's get to it.
But the wheels of justice turn slowly sometimes, and that was the case here, but they got it done.
27 years after rapper Tupac Shakur was shot to death in a car in Las Vegas, a man who confessed to his involvement in the crime is behind bars.
Who shot Tupac?
I keep it for the code of the streets. It just came from the backseat, bro.
Filmmaker Mike Dorsey predicted an arrest.
How you gonna say code of the streets and then proceed to break the code of the streets? Like, just think about that. How you gonna? I'm gonna leave it for the code of the streets, bro. But it came from the back seat, though. There's literally videos of him talking about the dude in the back seat, how he picked up the gun and just started blasting. Like, come on, bro. How you gonna snitch and then claim street codes? Like, that's crazy.
On Law and Crime nearly 2 months ago.
I think that they are going to close this case. I think that there is very likely going to be an indictment.
Thanks for joining us here on Law and Crime. I'm Anjanette Levy. Las Vegas Metro Police took Dwayne Keefe D. Davis into custody Friday. He's being held on charges related to the 1996 murder of rapper Tupac Shakur. Las Vegas Metro Police searched Davis's home in Henderson, Nevada in July.
The Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department. We have a search warrant for the resident. You need to come out with your hands up and your hands in.
I ain't gonna lie to you. The fact that this nigga is still living in Las Vegas is crazy. You knowing you telling on yourself. People, and you in the state where the crime was committed, bro. That's crazy. You gotta be a sick motherfucker to be on that type of shit.
At the same time, a grand jury was investigating Tupac's murder. Tupac Shakur was shot as he was riding in a car driven by Suge Knight one night in September 1996. Tupac had gotten into a fight with a man named Orlando Anderson at the MGM Grand during a Mike Tyson fight. The shooting of Shakur was believed to be retaliation for the fight. Keefe D later confessed that he gave Anderson, who was his nephew, the gun to shoot Tupac Shakur. He made the statement in a proffer to police, but the statement could not be used against him in court. Years later, Keefe D admitted his involvement in Tupac's murder in his book, Compton Street Legend. Many view the book as a confession. Keefe D wrote about that night, "I pulled out the Glock that Zip had given me and tossed it in the back seat. Bubble Up did the driving, Baby Lane and Freaky were riding in the back. Like two rams locking horns, Suge and I looked each other dead in the eye. The terrified expression on Suge's face read, 'Damn them N-words.'" He goes on to write, "One of my guys from the back seat grabbed the Glock and started busting back. Tupac Shakur died days later, and his murder would remain started busting back.
Okay, look. He said it was 3 dudes that he rolled with, right? One of the guys from the back seat, so that either means it was the other guy or the other guy. Right? Come on now. Basically, you saying it was Orlando, essentially. And I'm pretty sure Orlando got killed after all this, so that kind of like, I think that was a big thing in the investigation too, was that like Orlando Anderson got, street justice. You know what I'm saying? So because of that, it made it harder for, the police or, to continue with their investigation. And then obviously years later, he drops this book, so the investigation's not dead, but it ain't at the top of the list either.
Tupac Shakur died days later, and his murder would remain unsolved for years. Orlando Anderson was shot to death the next year.
Yep.
Filmmaker Mike Dorsey worked with retired LAPD detective Greg Kading on the documentary Murder Rap, which looked at Kading's investigation into the murders of Biggie Smalls and Tupac Shakur. I spoke with Dorsey about the news that Dwayne Keefe D. Davis had been taken into custody.
Well, this has been, for me, kind of a 10-year journey since we put out our doc, Murder Rap, which was the first documentary that put out his taped confession that his crew did this. And my reaction is that this has just been a very long time coming, and very, very, it's just an exciting day to finally have this. We didn't think this was going to happen at a certain point. It just seemed like so much time had gone by.
Right.
We started to wonder, is it really going to happen or not? But the wheels of justice turn slowly sometimes, and that was the case here. But they got it done.
You said that you thought an indictment would be coming, but now you're saying you didn't think this would ever happen. So
Sure.
do you feel like it was taking too long? Because we had heard some rumblings that a grand jury was looking at this.
I'll just say, initially we had heard that it was going to happen very quickly. It seemed like an indictment was, 6 weeks ago, an indictment was like happening, and then nothing. And we heard the grand jury was convening, and it was very airtight. They're not telling us anything. They aren't telling the public anything. So you do start to wonder after weeks and weeks go by if they're really going to pull it off or not.
Mm-hmm. What do you think? What kind of witnesses do you think they have? Because everybody else that was in that vehicle that night is dead.
Sure. I know some of the people that they've spoken to, but I can't disclose that. But correct. I mean, all 3 of the other people that were allegedly with Keefe in the shooter's vehicle, they've all died since this happened. Some of the key witnesses, like Tupac's bodyguard, is dead. Tupac himself, of course, being the closest witness, is dead. Suge Knight, being the next closest witness, will probably never talk about it.
Suge Knight ain't gonna say nothing. You talk about a nigga who lived by the code? Now you want to talk about the code? That nigga lives by the code all the way. All the way serious. This nigga, I think there's a whole shit came out where he said he wasn't gonna say nothing. Like he actually made a statement or something like that. I'm not sure if that's real or not, but I think I seen a video that said he came out and made a statement. He never gonna snitch or say nothing about the whole thing. And I mean, knowing Suge and his character, I mean, I ain't surprised by that at all, really. I mean, shit, niggas was saying that he was the one who set it all up. For years, he had to deal with that too, which never made no sense. Like, this nigga's like 800 pounds, bro. This nigga is 3 to 4 Tupacs, bro. Why would he do that, be in the car, tell niggas to shoot it up, and just not shoot him? These was not marksmen or hitmen or snipers, nigga. This is a drive-by, nigga. Pull up. Like, ain't no way he ever set that up. I quickly was, even when I was a little kid, I was mature enough and wise enough to understand that that's not the case.
So I don't know exactly who they've spoken to that could help them build, a case around Keefe. But I do know that when Murder Rap came out, we heard from a lot of people that had information on this case that had never disclosed it before, who said that it basically filled in the gaps for them of what they already knew. So my guess is that that's who they've been talking to, is people like that who have pieces of the story, and when you put them all together, it's like this tapestry that comes together of a case.
In some of these interviews, Keefe D seemed very cognizant of the fact that he had to be careful about what he said. So he obviously knew that he still was at risk of possibly being prosecuted, but then he goes and writes this book.
Right. Yeah, when he did his interview with BET for Death Row Chronicles, which came...
Extreme clout chasing. Clout chasing gone the worst way possible. Nigga wanted to get some fame and get his name out there and do this, and the only way to do that was to talk about Tupac and how you killed Tupac. So you really ain't really do shit in your life except for kill Tupac, and now you want to use that information and that whole situation to get your name out there to go sell a book so you can make some money and do this, and you on bullshit, bro. Now you about to go to jail for life like a dumbass nigga.
Came out in 2018. He had an attorney with him present for that interview.
Stupid.
And then after that, I don't know how much legal counsel he was getting. It's almost like when that came out and nothing happened to him, I wonder if maybe he got lulled into this sense of, oh, I guess they're not going to do anything. I'll just keep doing interviews and I'll be careful on my own and do what I think, I can get away with saying without going too far. But yeah, it seems clear. I mean, the fact that you bring a lawyer with you to an interview to make sure you don't say too much does tell you that he must have, at least in the back of his mind, considered that he might still be able to be prosecuted for this. Mm-hmm. And the proffered deal, when he did his original, statement to the police about this, 15 years ago, that only covers what he says that day in that meeting. If he went on CNN that night and said the same story, they would be able to use that interview against him. So I think he knows full well he had to be careful what he said.
So what do you expect to come next? Obviously, Keefe D had to know something might be coming since a search warrant was executed on his home.
Sure. We don't know what the charges are yet. I'm hoping that if there's a press conference today, that they'll tell us what he's actually being charged with, and confirm, of course, that it's for this case. Mm-hmm. And the next, I would think that he might want to do a deal, or that they might be interested in doing a deal. I don't know anybody wants to go to trial and have that circus in Vegas, and so I would suspect that they would try to do a deal, but I don't know.
The Associated Press is reporting that a judge ordered Keefe D held without bail. The prosecutor on the case was quoted as saying during the hearing that Keefe D was the on-site commander who ordered the death of Tupac Shakur. For Law and Crime.
Holy shit. What y'all think is going to happen? I'll tell you this much. The police do not want this to go to trial. They don't. I mean, look, they can use the interviews and they can use the book. Outside of that, I don't know what other information they got. They don't got Suge Knight. They don't got Tupac. So outside of the book, which Keefe D could just be like, well, I was just lying. You know what I mean? Like, just because he has the book doesn't mean he can't also say, I was just lying. I wanted to tell a story, and I wanted to sell a book and make some money, so I did. Is there anything against that? You know what I mean? But what they can't, so because of that, and all because people in the car are gone too and they can't snitch, that makes it tough to actually take that to trial and prove against, without a shadow of a doubt, he did it. Do the interviews in the book help them to make a case? Yes. But is it just words and it doesn't actually mean nothing? Yes, that's true too. So that's tough. That's going to be a tough one. They probably want to just try to get the plea deal and try to scare him as much as possible. But who knows? You guys let me know what you think in the comments. I plan on following this all the way through until the end. So let me know more videos and more information I need to look at. But that's pretty much it, man. Let me know how you feel in the comments. I love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Remember to keep it real. Real is rare and real always reaches everyone. See y'all next time. Peace.